Yes. Robert Saleh is out as the head coach of the New York Jets, and this has been something that has been in the works for quite some time. What's good, people? Your boy, man, Mike. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Tell your friend to come chat Falcons and NFL football with your boy. This is no surprise to me, and quite frankly, I think this is a year too late, and that's just my opinion. I just don't think with a guy like Robert Saleh, I'm just not a believer in. I think he's a great defensive coordinator. I think he's a great defensive guy. I think he's somebody that, is always going to be that. And I think whether or not he should or shouldn't be a head coach, I'll leave that up to you guys and the media and organization. But I personally don't think he has the personality, especially of today's NFL, where we got players and the media, the fans. These guys have a strong hold on how and who should be the head coach and the type of players and the type of coaches that they want to represent their organization. I think Robert Saleh is a wonderful coach, but at the end of the day, man, this is a players' league. Players are making $100 million, $200 million, signing $500 million contracts, and these guys have power. And I'm talking about power not only within the fan base, but the media, a locker room. Like, people are looking up to these guys. So you got to have a head coach that understands that he can adapt to the times, because we're not living in the 80s and 90s where players respect their head coach and they listen to their head coach. Some of these players don't want to hear a damn thing about what a coach got to say. All right, let's just keep that real. Guys are hold out, guys are bitch and complain, go on podcasts like your boy Devontae Adams. And speaking of Devontae Adams, I'm gonna get to that, but they're bitch and complain and moan about not getting their way. And if you don't give them what they want, it's going to be a media circus around it. So a guy like Robert Saleh, man, let's just keep it real. When I saw Aaron Rodgers push him away on the sideline, I already knew, yep, Aaron Rodgers is taking over that organization. And I wouldn't necessarily say brainwashed, but they believe the hype. They believe the hype when it comes down to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is an old, beat-up quarterback. I don't know if they'll be able to come back from them. There still is a division with Miami, the Bills, the Patriots. These guys aren't as good, but I thought it was the right thing to do. You start out 1-4. You start out 1-4 the way that they, say it's absolutely atrocious. Offensively, I think it's an absolute mess, and maybe it has to do with philosophy and whether or not they need to bring certain guys in, or Robert doesn't want to bring certain guys in, and kind of impart a new vision. Maybe that's something that he wasn't sold on. I think that has to do with a lot of things too. And like I said, at the end of the day, you got like Garrett Wilson, you got Aaron Rodgers, you got the running game that's not really looking good at all. These guys are pitiful. They have a few good players, but at the end of the day, man, they're just not getting it done. And sometimes when it's not getting done, it starts with the head coach. And Jeff Ulbrich will be the interim head coach for the Jets. And the last time that someone was fired, according to Adam Schefter, was after 5 games in the regular season, was Carolina, when they fired Matt Rule after a 1-4 start to the 2002 season. So this has happened before, but Robert Saleh has had some pretty pathetic players. All right, Zach Wilson did not play well, and I think we all know that. I don't think he had the necessary tools, players. I don't think he had the necessary coaching. the foundation for him to be successful. Whether or not he bounced back, we've seen, some quarterbacks bounce back. Mike White, Joe Flacco, Trevor Siemian, Tim Boyle. He hasn't had the greatest of players, so I'm not going to sit up here and just point the finger and say, yep, Robert Saleh is the reason. But sometimes, man, like even when you're 7-10, like the Atlanta Falcons were when we decided to fire Arthur Smith, I just don't think he connected with the players. I just don't think the players were buying into what he was teaching. And I think that's the same thing what we're seeing with Robert Saleh. I don't think players, the entire team, and more importantly, I don't think the offense, when you spend that much money on the offense and draft picks and bringing in a guy of the caliber of an Aaron Rodgers, man, you got to get off to a better start. These guys have been absolutely atrocious. I had these guys being a playoff contender, and quite frankly, man, with that defense, the offense being the way that it is, you can no longer justify keeping a guy like Robert Saleh. So I know this is going to be one of those. I think this is going to be one of those conversations when you look at whether or not Aaron Rodgers should receive a lot of flack for getting this guy fired, because he damn sure got him fired. Let's not bullshit ourselves. He got him fired, okay? Everybody knows Aaron Rodgers is behind this. But at the end of the day, I personally don't think Robert was the guy for the job. I never liked the hire to begin with, although he is a terrific defensive coordinator, good defensive mind. But like at the end of the day, man, you need a head coach that can relate to a lot of these young players, and more importantly, you got to be best friends with these damn quarterbacks now. All right, unfortunately, you got to kiss these quarterbacks' asses. And a lot of times when you're not kissing their asses and you're not giving them what they want, and you're not giving them more power to whether it's bring in guys to recruit, you got to be able to give them the quarterbacks power to recruit players that they like, to draft players that they like. And I mean recruit, we're talking about free agency and take their their word on the types of players who they want, as long as it fits the scheme or it fits the climate of the organization. Like the Atlanta Falcons, they want guys that are not going to be any trouble off the field. So you got to be able to, you got to be able to kiss these players' ass. You got to be able to give these players a little bit more power and influence within the organization if you're going to be successful. This is just the way of the world. And I know a lot of people probably saying themselves, man, these players got way too much power. Well, yep, too late for that. They got the power now, so we're going to have to do whatever it takes to make sure that these coaches, they understand that. Again, you can still be an influence. But I think the thing is, when we're looking at these coaches and these players right now, you got to have a coach that could speak to these guys and get on these guys' level in order to get the most out of the organization. And I think that's something that Robert Saleh doesn't have. Yes, he's a defensive mind, and I think he can reach the defense and he can teach the defense. But as far as offensively, I just think he was the wrong fit. And, quite frankly, man, I'm just be real, it was the right decision to make. I just did not think he was going to last this long. And to be honest, man, having a good defense is one thing. The Jets have always done that and had that. They need a coach that can come in, develop the quarterback the proper way. And maybe this is an organizational issue. I don't know. But, for the most part, no, I do know. This is an organizational issue. If they want to be successful, they're going to have to bring in the right people to develop quarterbacks and develop a system and stick to it. Because right now, all these pretty boys, they bringing in guys that are popular at the quarterback position and in offensive minds. They don't bring in a lot of quarterback coaches that have been known for developing quarterbacks. And I think that's another issue in regards to the Jets. They just don't. They love defensive guys. And again, that's your identity, to be a defensive mind, but at the same time, you can be a good defensive organization and develop players, and in particular, the quarterback position properly. And I think that's the thing. So let me know what you guys think about this. This has been your boy Mad Mike with another reaction to the firing of Robert Saleh, head coach, former defensive coordinator for the 49ers. And like I said, let me know what you guys think about this. This has been your boy Mad Mike. Hit that subscribe button if you like these types of breakdowns and reactions to what is going on in the sports world. So hit that subscribe button, hit the link right here on the screen to see the next video. I'm out of here, man. Peace.